Hey boosters, welcome back to another Pokemon Unite video, and I'm pretty sure that everyone has saw me complain about some of the overpowered Pokemon like Zera Aura or Gengar, and we definitely expected them to be nerfed sometime sooner or later, but we actually thought that the patch notes will come about in September when mobile version comes out on Pokemon Unite. However, the patch notes are actually gonna be coming out tomorrow, and today is the day right before. This is August 3rd, I believe, or 2nd. It's a Tuesday anyways. It's coming out on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. Actually, do we get the date here? Yeah, so basically it is coming out tomorrow. Oops. Whoa. Okay, so date and time. So it's gonna be coming out tomorrow, so August 4th. Right now it's August 3rd, and there are some patch notes that we're gonna go over right now, and this is gonna be the part 1 video where we're actually gonna be showing what the damage data points were before, and tomorrow we're gonna be doing the part 2, which is gonna be the after the patch, and we're gonna review all the different changes, see how it might shape the meta of this game, and yeah, we'll just see how good or bad it is for the state of this game, whether the buffs or nerfs are justified or not, and yeah. Okay, so we're gonna be getting our trusty computer over here. I just got my computer right now, and I'm gonna be reading out to you guys the different buffs and nerfs, right? We'll do it one by one. Okay, so PokemonUnite.com, unite.pokemon.com. Okay, so here, these are the patch notes right here. I'm just gonna quickly read them out one by one and test them one by one. Okay, so update details, bug fixes, text fixes, spectate feature test release. So we're gonna be they're gonna be testing out the spectate feature, how you can kind of, if you have a friend, if you add a friend, then you can actually just click into them, and if they're in a match, you can spectate them and kind of have like a free roam angle or camera that you can just see at the match for yourselves. So that's gonna be pretty cool, so that you can know if they're losing or winning or the state of the game at that point. And there are also changes being made to some Pokemon stats and moves to adjust the balance of Unite battles. Okay, so first of all, the first change is gonna be Charizard here. Now, I don't actually have Charizard, but we're gonna test him out and see the damage values here. We're gonna make sure that we don't have any items equipped on all of these so that it stays consistent, the control variable here. Okay, so Charizard's changes are quite good. So firstly, Flamethrower, cooldown reduced, and also effects on Pokemon strengthened. Now it doesn't say damage, so I'm assuming it's the burn damage, but I'm not too sure. I'm assuming it's the burn damage. Okay, so we can just go ahead and upgrade Charizard or Charmander up to Charizard here. We'll leave move cooldowns on. And so we're gonna need to do this twice. So we'll first test Flamethrower and Fire Blast actually. Okay, so let's do regular flamethrower first. So 900, oh, the burn damage brings it up to 1168 for the flamethrower normal version. And the cooldown is what it said before. Now, Fire Blast, the damage is at 3250, and the cooldown is as said. Let's try it again. 3250. The cooldown's about 10 or 11 seconds, which is quite a lot. Yeah, so 3250 for Fire Blast normal. And this is Flamethrower plus 7-second cooldown. The damage is about 1346. And Fire Blast cooldown 11 seconds still. And the damage is gonna be 4901. Let's just make sure that wasn't additional damage from the other move. 4901. Oh, maybe it was. Okay, so 3555. That's for Fire Blast plus. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and leave the match, get in another match with Charizard, because there's another move that got buffed, which is Fire Punch. Effects on opposing Pokemon strengthened again. Okay, so let's just go ahead and test that out. Guys, I don't know what's going on. My camera keeps moving. I think I need something to, like, hold it in place. Let's try that. Okay, the next one is Flamethrower. Now, this is gonna be quite a long video because there are quite a bit of changes that have been added in this patch. So beware of that. I might add timestamps if I remember to, so that you guys can actually check it out. Okay. Okay, so let's get Charizard leveled up here. We're gonna go ahead and take Flame Burst and Fire Spin. Okay, now Fire Punch. Supposedly the effects on opposing Pokemon are also strengthened, so we'll see about that. Currently it does 1877 damage on the regular version, and on the plus version it does 1877 again. Yeah, 1877. So those are the values for Fire Punch there for Charizard. So yeah, that was that. Okay, so now we're gonna be going on to the next balance change out of the abundant of different changes. It's actually so much. I'm not gonna go over the bug fixes. I'm gonna talk about them a little bit, but they haven't gone in detail what the bugs actually are, so. Okay. The next Pokemon that got buffed is Talonflame. So, Talonflame, another really, sort of underwhelming Pokemon here. Supposed to be a jungler, but doesn't really, have enough sustainability to survive team fights, and the damage is just not impressive. So okay, so first one, Acrobatics, damage dealt to Pokemon increased, and then Aerial Ace and Fly. Okay, so we'll check those out. I think Acrobatics is actually a starting move. Yep. Okay, so let's just beef the boy up into a Talonflame. That way our numbers aren't messed up. Okay, so level 15 Talonflame Acrobatics does 1491 damage. So supposedly the damage will be increased. Okay, the next one we're gonna test out is Aerial Ace. So Aerial Ace base does 850 damage. Now supposedly the damage will increase. Let's try that again. Yep, 850. Okay. Now the next one that we're gonna test out is Fly. Fly did get buffed as well. Brave Bird did not. So let's try that. 2325. That's the damage value for Fly. I don't think it includes Fly Plus, but we'll test that out anyways. Now Aerial Ace Plus also supposedly will get a damage buff. So currently 1034. Those are the damage values for Fly. Aerial Ace Plus, and for Fly Plus 2325. So those are gonna be all damage buffs. Let's move on to the next Pokemon now, Venusaur. Now Venusaur's interesting. So they're all buffs again. Venusaur's another extremely underwhelming character. No one really liked it. One of the worst laners as of this meta, but this patch might change everything here. So let's just go to Venusaur here. Okay, so yep, no. We have the skin. The skin's pretty cool. I think everyone gets it at level 2. Okay. Venusaur. The first change is... Oh, so we'll have to do 2 tries here for all of them, right? Venusaur Sludge Bomb. Okay, so... let's beef the Bulbasaur into Venusaur. Okay. Sludge Bomb, first of all. Damage dealt to Pokemon increases, and effects are also strengthened. So, I'm assuming that means that the initial damage here... boom. Like, when it first lands, that damage is gonna be increased, and also the poison effect is gonna be strengthened, so it will do more poison damage over time. So currently, the base damage, including with the poison, does 999 damage. Okay, now let's try Sludge Bomb Plus. And it does 999 as well, so I guess it's the cooldown that reduces. Now the next one is Solar Beam. So cooldown reduces. The base Solar Beam is an 8-second cooldown, I would say. 8 or 9-second cooldown. And Solar Beam Plus is a 7 or 6-second cooldown. So those values are supposed to change. The cooldown's supposed to be reduced. There. Okay. Now, the next buff, aside from the other path of moves, is the Unite move. So, the damage dealt to Pokemon will be increased. So, initially, it does 20 damage for one hit, upon one hit. But it actually does, like, splash damage, so like it spreads out. So it lands and then breaks up into 4 more. So if you include all of those hits, it gets up to 3037 if you get the initial hit and also the mini like seeds that sprout out of it. So that damage is supposed to be increased because it's really underwhelming as of now. And yeah, so let's test out the other path for Venusaur here. And the next one that got buffed, supposedly, is Petaldance. Now, we'll see in the part 2 episode whether, because the wording with the patch notes is kind of weird, right? Because, it says, like, for example, Sludge Bomb. Now, we don't know if that includes Sludge Bomb Plus or not. Because, Sludge Bomb Plus, in the Talonflame entry, it says both Aerial Ace and Aerial Ace Plus. So I don't know if it's just the base version or if the plus version also gets a buff from it saying that. Maybe Aerial Ace Plus, when it says that, it's like even higher scaling from the base to the plus version. Add it with the base, like, additional damage. If you guys understand what I mean by that. Okay, so the next one is Petaldance. We'll just quickly get this over with. I don't want to waste too much time here. And then we'll move on to the next Pokemon. Okay, let's beef Bulbasaur up. And, okay, so Petaldance here. So Petaldance, initial damage, the buff is that it's a move upgrade. I'm not too sure what move upgrade means. Maybe it's more damage, maybe it's less cooldown. So it's not too specific on that. We'll just show here. So if you hit all the hits here, you get 2,256 on the base version of Petaldance. And you get 2,256 on the upgraded version. And the cooldown's like 7 seconds, about. Maybe they'll add a stun. Maybe that's what they mean by a move upgrade, but I'm not too sure on the wording of that. Okay, so let's go on to the next Pokemon that got buffed. Okay. The next one is actually Absol. I also don't play it. I don't have enough coins for it, and I'm a free-to-play player, so. So let's go to Absol here. Okay, so Absol, let's see the damage values here. Practice Arena. No items, perfect. Okay, so Absol, basic attack bug fixes. I'm not too sure what that means, however. I can, however, check it out, I think, because the Japanese version of the website actually tells us what the bug fixes mean for some Pokemon. They don't go into much detail, though, still, regardless. Okay. Let me translate the page here. Oh, so it doesn't actually tell for Absol here. Okay, so Absol, the basic attack has bug fixes, apparently. I'm not too sure what that relates to, but we will showcase that later on. Okay, so the first one, Night Slash. The damage is increased, And Sucker Punch's damage is also increased. So I believe most people go for Pursuit because it's just a better move. So buffing Night Slash is just a way to make people's like view on the other path more reasonable. So let's go try this out. So Night Slash does 812 damage base. So the damage will probably increase. And Sucker Punch does 637. That's really underwhelming, in my opinion. Oh, on a crit, it does 1,273. Okay, now let's test Night Slash Plus and Sucker Punch. Night Slash Plus. Let's try for a non-crit value. Oh, did I mess it up? I think I did. Night Slash has 2 moves. 406, and then the second one does... Oh, I don't like these crit values. They're messing up the test. So 406, we'll just have it. Okay, so about 900 for Night Slash Plus, and Sucker Punch 637. On the back, it does more damage because you're coming from the back, I believe. Yeah. And these are the basic attacks. Let me just reset the substitute doll. Wait for it to refresh. Okay. So you hit it once. 1,000. So 620, basically. 620. And the third one does that. 620. 620. That one hits twice. Let me... 266 and... 266 and 400 about. So those are the values for basic attacks on Absol. And those were basically the changes to Absol. Now the next one, I think this is like one of the hugest buffs in this patch ever. That's probably gonna change the meta and support a lot. So it is Wigglytuff. Okay, so for Wigglytuff, the buffs that it received are the stats of defense, special defense, and HP have been buffed quite a bit, I think. So that's gonna make it more survivable. I'm not too sure how to test that. I think I'm gonna test it by having creeps attack me, and that way we can kind of test it. So we'll test that later. But okay, so the moves themselves: Double Slap, Sing, and Dazzling Gleam. Dazzling Gleam is a bug fix, so I'm not gonna tackle that, I think, because we don't really have that much time here. But yeah, so we're gonna go with Sing and Double Slap. So Double Slap, base damage 1760. That's not bad at all. Now that's gonna be buffed with the damage being increased and effects strengthened. So I'm not too sure what effects mean. Maybe it's the hindrance length. I think it is the hindrance length that's gonna be buffed there. Now this is Double Slap Plus 2112, and also again 2 seconds of hindrance. Yeah. Okay, so the next one is Sing. The effect strengthened let's try that again. Wigglytuff is really cool. We'll wait for the thing to reset here. Sing. Four seconds of sleep. So that's what Sing does. And about how many seconds does it take to activate the Sing? Because the effects are strengthened, so maybe it's the duration that it takes to start. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. About 3 seconds. Okay, so that was Wigglytuff. Now, let me see if the page shows. Okay, so for Dazzling Gleam, the bug was that some wild Pokemon couldn't be damaged with Dazzling Gleam. So we're not going to test that because the damage values are going to remain the same. The next one is Eldegoss. Another support Pokemon being buffed, which is quite nice actually, because I haven't seen much support being played overall. So let's make sure we don't have any items. Perfect. Okay, Eldegoss, the moves that were buffed, Eldegoss is actually nerfed here. Okay, so Cotton Guard, cooldown lengthened, HP restoration decreased. I'm not too sure how to test that. Maybe we won't test that. We won't be able to. Let's just buff Eldegoss up here. Take these moves. Okay, Cotton Spore has also been buffed. So Cotton Guard was nerfed, and then Cotton Spore got buffed. So we'll test Cotton Spore. Okay, so Cotton Spore cooldown reduced, that we can test. And effects on Pokemon strengthened. So I think it heals. It does damage as well if you hit it on wild Pokemon. So 1332 is the damage value. Oh, an opposing Pokemon strengthens. So that will do more damage. And I believe it knocks up for 2 seconds as well. And also, it says this move's special defense increase has been strengthened. So, when you use this move, you actually get a defense and special defense buff, and that will increase with the next patch coming. Yeah, okay, so nothing else much. The plus version, there you go. And Eldegoss's Unite move has also been nerfed because in matches, they've actually, like, the Unite move literally heals up, like, a Pokemon to full health, so we can't really test that, but here you go. Oh, it does damage. Okay, we can test that. I'm assuming when he drops down, it damages, like, enemies and heals, the teammates. So 2392, that will be decreased with the health restoration, which I cannot test. So, let's go to the next Pokemon. Ooh, now this is a big one. Okay, so this is really big. Probably the best Pokemon as of now in this patch. Heavily nerfed right here. So, it's Cinderace. So, for the nerfs, the following stats have been decreased. Let me just remove these. Okay. Attack the base attack stat itself has been decreased because mainly with Cinderace, you actually want to like use your auto attacks or your basic attacks a lot because they do insane amounts of damage late game. And also Blaze Kick has been nerfed. That's an L because it was one of the best moves. It crits as well as does insane damage. And Faint has a move downgrade. I'm not too sure what that means in turn either. But let's test it out. Okay. Pyro Ball got buffed because it was the underrated move. I personally think Pyro Ball is not bad at all. Blaze Kick is really good, but Pyro Ball is not bad. So base level Blaze Kick does 1, 2, wait, actually 1, 3, 5, 7 on a crit. And let's see how much it does on non-crits. Let's just let it refresh here. Boom. Was that a crit? I think that was. Okay, we'll just take the crit value. Oh, it always crits. That's my bad. Okay, so 1, 3, 5, 7 for base Blaze Kick. And I think it's the same. It just has a better cooldown. Now Faint. Faint got nerfed. Move downgrade. I'm not too sure what that is. Let's try. So that's how long the animation lasts for Faint normal. Base Faint. It was really overpowered because you can literally like dodge any move at all. Any Unite move if you have good reactions, right? So Faint plus. So it's like 1 spin. Let's test that again. Let's turn off the cooldowns. Let's see how long it was. 1, 2. About 2 seconds, right? Okay. Okay, so those were the nerfs for the moves. Now we have the attack decrease. Now, assuming that the abilities are physical, which they are, they probably scale with the attacks, right? Like the damage done is probably a percentage of the base attack. So that nerf of the base attack stat is definitely gonna be playing a huge part with it. Okay, so we'll just show you guys the base attacks real quick. So basic attacks, the first hit 479 with no crit. Another 479 with no crit. And then the third attack, the 622 with no crit. So we'll compare that to the values when the attack has been nerfed. So yeah, that was Cinderace's nerfs. And then we'll go and quickly do Pyro Ball because that's actually a buff. So the damage dealt to opposing Pokemon is actually increased with Pyro Ball. That probably is going to be the new meta for Cinderace. If not, then Blaze Kick will remain as the meta, but then he'll be probably a lower tier than regular. Okay, so let's just quickly test out the Cinderace and then we'll move on to the next one. There are so many things. So we have like 4 more after this, excluding the bug fixes, which I'll just read the descriptions of. Okay, so let's just quickly buff him up. Okay, so Pyro Ball's base damage level 15. We'll see the burn damage. 1618. Okay. Now Pyro Ball plus the damage will be 1618 again. I'm assuming the cooldown reduces. Yeah, so the damage is going to be buffed. We'll see what it is next time. Okay, the next Pokemon. This is a well-needed nerf that I believe every single person that plays Pokemon Unite agrees with. Now, I'm sad to say this, I used to main this character in the first few days, and that is Gengar. It's just too broken with the Sludge Hex combo, and we'll see how heavily nerfed that gets. I'm really excited for that because I actually really like the fact that Gengar can be played as a laner with Shadow Ball instead of Sludge Bomb. And let's hope that it's a good nerf, quite a heavy nerf, but buffs on the Shadow Ball will be good. Okay, so for Gengar, basic attack bug fixes. I'm not too sure what that necessarily interns, but we'll check out the skill nerfs and the buffs. Okay, so the first skill that is nerfed is, of course, Hex. Now, to do this, we really need to test out the Sludge Bomb Hex combo. So, Sludge Bomb Hex, the max times that you can do this, if you constantly spam it, you get 22,024 damage. That's how insane that is right now. And you guys can just count how many hexes I got there. I think it was like 4 or 5. Absolutely busted, right? Now, that is supposed to have a move downgrade, so I'm assuming what it has to do. So let's just check what the Japanese site says. So for Gengar, the Hex, the amount of damage done has been reduced, so that's really good. We don't know how much just yet, though. And the invincibility time when activated has been reduced, so you can no longer, like, during that period when you teleport from here to here, you're invincible there. So I'm assuming that's gonna be nerfed as well. So yeah, let's test the damage of the plus version here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 on the plus version. 30834, 30,834 damage. That is crazy, if I say. Okay. Okay, so with Gengar, there are also buffs, of course. They want you to play less of the Sludge Bomb Hex combo, obviously. And they want you to play more of Shadow Ball Dream Eater. So we're going to test that out. And so for Shadow Ball, the damage is increased onto the opponent Pokemon. So not to creeps, but to opposing Pokemon. That's what it means by opposing Pokemon. If they say to all Pokemon, then that probably includes wild Pokemon or creeps. And for Dream Eater, it says move upgrade, but the Japanese version, it says increase speed of the work. So what that means, I assume, is that the move will take less time to actually activate or, like, to use. So let's try Shadow Ball first. So Shadow Ball base level 15 does 1404 damage. So that damage is probably going to increase. Now for Dream Eater, 2457 upon the teleportation, but that's probably not gonna be buffed. I think what's buffed is the time probably that the projectile travels, because that's a little slow right now. People can dodge it pretty easily. The damage probably won't be buffed, but yeah. Okay, now Shadow Ball. Plus does 1602. And Dream Eater Plus does... Wait, we'll let it reset. Gengar's really cool, but I just don't like that he's too overpowered. Seems like no skill to play him. Just spam Hex over and over again. Okay, so Dream Eater Plus 2776. So there you go. Those were the damage values for Gengar. Now this is really controversial here. With Gengar, another jungler was demanded to be nerfed hard, but they just haven't been. It's Zera Aura. So okay. I mean, it's like the nerfs are decent, but they're not enough, I would say. So let's just take off these items here. Okay, so Zera Aura Spark has bug fixes. So what I'm let's check if the Japanese site says whatever. Okay, so they don't. They do not talk about that. But I'm assuming it's like when you use Spark multiple times. I'll show you guys in here. Okay, so the base damage hasn't been nerfed. That's absolutely like uncalled for. I think the best way was probably to nerf the base damage, but it is what it is. Okay, so while charge damage dealt is increased, so most people take I'll take Spark here. Most people take Discharge because it's just insane damage with the area of effect damage. But yeah, so they want you to use Wild Charge a little more. So we'll test that real quick here. So it latches onto Pokemon 3129. So the cooldown will be reduced and the damage dealt will be increased. So let's see the cooldown again. 10 seconds. So 10 seconds, I'm assuming it's going to be reduced to like 7 seconds. Now, for the plus version, 9-second cooldown, I think 3085. Let me check if it was 9 or 10. 10 again. Okay, so the cooldown doesn't change. 3071 about for plus version. Now for the Spark, I think the bug was that if you spam Spark, like using it 3 times in a row, it's kind of like the animation overlaps each other, if you guys can see. I think they'll probably make it so that the bug fix will make it kind of like slow down, but like be in order, something like that. Maybe you can go further with it, so that's even worse. I think Zera Aura definitely will still be overpowered in the next patch. Yeah, just don't expect for it to get nerfed here. But one thing that's actually decent for Zera Aura is that its Unite move got nerfed. So this thing is absolutely insane. So at level 15 base damage, the Unite move does 2819 upon hit, I think that is 2819. And supposedly the damage dealt will be decreased, so that should be good. Now I think it's like if you use it on something near like this. Wait, let me just hit this thing and then use the Unite move here. Like surrounding. I think this field does that. Actually, never mind. So base damage 2819. That's gonna be nerfed. Damage is gonna be decreased. So that's good. Oh, now this is a big one. We're on to the second last one, disregarding the bug fixes here. Now this is a big one. You guys know that I'm a Cramorant main as of now on the Switch version. As of today. I've put in quite a lot of work with... Oh, we can claim that. I forgot to claim. Huh? Oh, well. Okay, so if you guys see, I played 70 battles with Kramen, 70% win rate. That's pretty good. Now, the next thing that's coming up, Kramen actually got a nerf. Now, since I have more experience with Kramen, I can actually give kind of a detailed explanation on this. Now, when you play Kramen here, the main gist of this character is that early game, it's a beast with the Whirlpool attack, which is basically an AoE attack. Like, it's like a circle here that actually does insane amounts of damage, if I say. So, I'll give you guys kind of like a preview on how much damage this does. So Whirlpool at level 1, when you're just trying to clear creeps, if you place it correctly here, look, it does insane damage, like 90% of that Apom's health there. We'll try here. Look, that cleans out the whole, like the double Apoms there if you place it correctly, right? So that just shows to how much damage that does. That's really insane. But the gist of Kramen is that it's really good early game. So a level 3 Whirlpool, well placed, does 1824. That's really insane. That's if you stay in it, however. So people can just move out. But the gist with Kramen was that he's really good early game and kind of falls off in the later game where like the Cinderaces and Greninjas, they start to spike. So then he kind of loses the ability to like make a late game comeback. So you really need to be skilled with Kramen to really play well early game so that you snowball and don't give a chance for the other mages to kind of like level up and meet your like ability kinda. So that was the gist with Kramen. Now the nerfed Whirlpool damage on enemies. So we'll test that here. Level 15 does 4736 to opposing Pokemon. I believe that the damage onto creeps is not gonna decrease, so at least that's good. But yeah. So 4736, that's the nerf. Now we go on to the buff for Kramen. So they obviously want you to play more different like movesets and don't want to limit it to just one. So they buffed Dive, so supposedly you'll get more damage onto opposing Pokemon. Let's test that. So a Dive onto a Pokemon base does 866. 866 damage on Dive. That's not that good. That's why no one really uses Dive, right? Another thing that's bad with Dive is like, look, if we use 974 for the plus version. So although the cooldown is reduced here, like when the cooldown's over for Dive, it takes so long for another Dive to charge up. If you guys see, there's like a timer thing where like you have to wait for it to recharge. So that just makes it like really bad of a dash move because firstly it does really bad damage, Second, the cooldown with the timer thing is really long. And third, Kramen doesn't have a high burst damage attack like a Zera Aura with Discharge does. Like, the most burst is Air Slash, and that doesn't do that much damage either. So, we'll see how the dive buff turns out. I don't think it's going to be that good. So, overall, Kramen probably gets nerfed. Doesn't mean I'll quit him, though. But I'll definitely look to other Pokemon here. Because another one that I personally really like, not regarding to how good it is, like, I like as a Pokemon, is Mr. Mime. So I'm saving up my coins to get Mr. Mime there. So yeah. And the last one that isn't a bug fix is Machamp. So with Machamp, I haven't really played much of him, but I can tell you guys the basics. So you would usually want to use Cross Chop here over Close Combat, I think. Yeah, Cross Chop, because it just doesn't like stick to one place. And you wouldn't use Close Combat. It just leaves you vulnerable, right? And Submission is overpowered. So, what they have gone and done for Machamp is they nerfed Cross Chop's damage and buffed Close Combat's damage. I do not think that that's gonna make people go and use Close Combat more, because you're still being like extremely vulnerable by like staying still using the Close Combat. I think most likely what will happen with Machamp is that instead of like an A plus S tier kind of late game all-rounder, he will become A, mid A, lower A, or B plus tier, because it's just the damage that's being decreased. No one's gonna really change to using Close Combat. And even if you do, Lucario's just overall a better Close Combat user. So you still want to use Submission and Cross Chop, right? Okay, so let's test out Cross Chop. Level 15 base, 1322. And we'll look at the plus version, 1322, and 1322 again. So, okay. Now also, as I said before, Close Combat got buffed. So we'll go ahead and test the damage on that. Again, as I said before, I don't think people are gonna use Close Combat regardless. People are just gonna use Cross Chop. It's just gonna do less damage though. So Machamp's probably gonna get nerfed overall. Like, the moves that they buff for the wrong reasons is just gonna make that character worse overall. So, for example, Kramen, you won't use Dive because the cooldown, the timer refresh, is too slow, and buffing the damage will just not help. So then people still won't use Dive because of the trash cooldown timer, and the Whirlpool is just decreased. People will still use Surf Hurricane because that's overpowered. Not overpowered, really effective if played really well, right? Okay, so let's buff this up to Machamp. And now the next one we're testing is Close Combat. So look, it's quite a small range, and you're stuck in place. So 2353 Close Combat base version here. Again, 2353, right? Cross Chop just does more. It's like 60% of the damage, but you don't get locked in place. Now, Close Combat Plus, 2353 again. So, yeah. So that's that. The damage will be increased, so we'll see how much that is, but again, people won't use it probably. Now, another thing that Machamp's getting changed is the basic attack bug fix. Let me just go ahead and see. Okay, so the Japanese version does not tell, so we're not sure if we'll actually get this change or not. So, look, this is the basic attacks. I don't know what will change, but yeah. That's after a move is used. Okay, so that's the basic attacks. Now, for the other two, they're bug fixes, so I won't really go into detail with them. Greninja, basic attack bug fixes. I don't actually know what's gonna be fixed because the Japanese website doesn't actually show. I'm just gonna quickly go into practice arena and showcase. Showcase the basic attacks for this Greninja here. And see, you guys can just compare and see how they're bugged, because I truly do not know either. Okay, let's just go in here and then quickly do this. Now, tomorrow I'm gonna be making a video as soon as possible going over these changes because they're quite important. Hopefully we won't have to do too much here. Greninja. Okay, since it's just basic attacks, I'll just show Froakies also. Maybe it's the melee attacks. Those seem kind of buggy somehow. Okay, Frogadier. That's the melee attack. And this is the ranged attack. And now Greninja. Oops. No. Okay, Greninja. Level 15. This is the basic attack. And you guys can just see how it's bugged. This is a melee. Insane damage there with the crits. Whoa, Greninja's like super late game spike, I feel. Okay, so that was that. Now let's try after a smoke screen. Maybe that was bugged. And now this is after water shuriken. Of course, it removes the cooldown. And then we'll try with after using the Unite move. After Unite move, but ranged. There you go. Okay, so that was it for Greninja. Now the last one. Oh, not last one. There's also Lucario. Now, the Lucario one, there are actually explanations on the Japanese website here. Okay, so Lucario fixed for one of the bug fixes for each of the good moves. So, Glow Power Up Punch fixed a bug where the attack increased by the effect of Power Up Punch was also reflected in the normal attack after activation. So I'm not too sure what that means, but yeah, that's that. So apparently they're like after a power-up punch you usually get like a basic attack boost that wasn't supposed to happen sometimes. So it's just a bug. Don't worry, Lucario players, because like most of the time you're playing with the normal version where it's not bugged, but sometimes after a power-up punch the basic attack like does like too much damage than expected, like way too much. So yeah. Now, okay, let's quickly get power-up punch here and we'll test that. Boom. Okay, so you guys probably saw a little bit of that, like a lot of damage, auto attack increase. Okay, so after this, move damage, boom. So 572 for the auto attack after power up punch. And the regular ones are 440. That's what it's supposed to be. So instead of 560 damage, you'll get 440 damage. So that's really not gonna make much of a difference there for you Lucario players. Oh, maybe that was it. I think that was it. Wait, let's let this. Boom. So look, that time it did 1,452. And sometimes it does more. Yeah, just, I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. I don't think Lucario actually got nerfed with this. This is not a nerf, guys. It's a bug fix. So get that right, okay? Okay, so the next one is Bone Rush. Fix a bug where it didn't do damage, like, around the bone when you click it for the second time. There. Look. I got the thing to work. Let's punch it out this way. Let's knock this thing out onto the side a bit more. Maybe Unite move it a bit. Woo, I'm a Lucario. Okay, we'll wait for the thing to cool down. So, the bug is where after you use Bone Rush, it lands a bone here, right? So when you click it a second time, it's supposed to teleport you to that bone and then do AoE damage around it. So let's see if that works or not. Boom, there. Look, that didn't do much damage, I think. I think that actually worked properly, but one of the times it didn't work. So let's see here. Let's turn cooldowns off. That worked again. Sometimes it does not, however. Okay, let's try this. Look, that didn't do damage. You guys saw that? Now that does, but like sometimes it doesn't. So overall, Lucario didn't get nerfed, so don't be scared, Lucario players. Yeah. So that was it. That was the Pokemon Unite balance patch changes for August 4th. And it's gonna be performed at 12 a.m. PDT or 7 a.m. UTC. So that's gonna be 2 p.m. at my time tomorrow. So yeah, those were the balance changes. This is part 1, the prior to the patch test. And tomorrow we're gonna be doing the after the like ladder, I think. that's gonna be after the patch actually comes out. We're gonna test it out and analyze it a little more tomorrow on how it will affect the meta of this game, and how it affects the usage of each Pokemon, and kind of analyze it more deeply. So yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. Hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys found this helpful, make sure to like this video and share it to everyone you know, so that they also know this information. But yeah, that was it. Make sure you guys stay tuned for the next video on Pokemon Unite, and we'll see you the next time.